We have some very special guests here today, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Honourable Joyce Murray, Minister of Digital Government. The Honourable Joyce Murray was first elected as the Member of Parliament for Vancouver Quadra in 2008. Minister Murray is a dedicated community leader with a deep commitment to environmental sustainability and democratic engagement. Her federal political career follows a 25-year career building an international reforestation company and 4 years serving in the cabinet of the Government of British Columbia. In her earlier role as a parliamentary secretary to the President of the Treasury Board, Minister Murray championed and helped lead the development of the Centre for Greening Government. Making federal government operations more environmentally friendly and efficient was a natural project for Minister Murray, whose entrepreneurial spirit was reinforced through her reforestation company. Minister Murray is a thought leader driving progressive new policies in government. Her ability to envision and deliver on bold new ideas comes from her depth of experience in politics and business. So I'd like to welcome Minister Murray up to the podium. I'll let you do it.
Great, thank you very much. And thank you, Lynn and Paul, for hosting this important announcement. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we're gathered today on the unceded territory of the Coast Salish peoples. And I'm really delighted to join you today to talk about something that's been a big part of my life and that remains one of my passions, and that is Canada's forests. You know, a while ago, 1992, actually, I wrote a master's thesis on carbon sequestration in our trees, through our trees and our forests, and the role they must play in Canada's fight against climate change. There weren't a lot of takers at that time, but I am so glad to see how the world has mobilized ideas and people and resources to think about our forests and their resilience and their role in tackling climate change. That opportunity, that possibility is what led me into public service, actually. And I am so pleased to represent Seamus O'Regan, Canada's Minister of Natural Resources, and to be part of a government that has made ecosystem restoration and sustainability a core pillar of Canada's climate plan. One way that we're doing this is by supporting the expanded use of wood in creating more sustainable community infrastructure, which brings us here today to British Columbia, a province that has been at the forefront of mass timber construction. Our innovative researchers and companies, the designers, the builders, developers, and suppliers are world-class. And with the 2017 construction of the 18-story Brock Common student residence at UBC, we can boast one of the tallest hybrid buildings in the world. The City of Vancouver continues to push the pace and promote the expansion of green buildings, and so does the provincial government. Thank you to leaders at all levels who see that this is the way of the future and critical to our future. The Government of Canada is proud to stand with you and to help position Canada as a global leader in a global bioeconomy. Across Canada, we're supporting demonstration projects aimed at encouraging the use of wood in non-traditional construction projects, like low-rise and taller buildings and bridges. Today, we're pleased to announce an investment of close to $650,000 to support the construction of this magnificent hybrid mass timber office. By using more sustainable carbon-storing wood in construction, we can help Canada meet our international climate targets while creating jobs and supporting the forest sector in Western Canada. Congratulations to Paul, Fast, and your team. Paul leads an award-winning global company that is part of so many marvelous structures From the gorgeous Tsleil-Waututh Administration and Health Centre in North Vancouver to the rejuvenated National Arts Centre in our nation's capital. So to everyone at Fast Epp Engineering and to all those who are part of this exciting project, I wish you every success.
Thank you, Minister Murray. I would now like to introduce Paul Fast, founder of Fast Epp, an internationally recognized structural engineering firm. As founder of Fast Epp, Paul is passionate about design excellence. He has emerged a leader in architecturally exposed structures and is recognized for his unconventional use of materials, including hybrids of timber, concrete, and steel. Paul graduated from the University of British Columbia in 1981 with a Bachelor of Applied Science in Civil Engineering. He did work with two prominent Vancouver consulting firms, working on the Expo 86 modular pavilion system and the Expo 86 geodesic dome, now called Science World. In 1985, Paul established his own company, Paul Fast Associates. 4 years later, the corporate partnership of Fast Epp was born. For over 3 decades, Paul has been the design lead for many of the firm's most significant award-winning projects, including the Richmond Olympic Oval roof, the Grandview Heights Aquatic Center, the Kingsway Pedestrian Bridge, and the 18-story Brock Commons Tallwood House at UBC. In the spring of 2010, Paul was named an honorary member of the Architectural Institute of British Columbia and a fellow of the Institution of Structural Engineers in the UK. In 2013, the Engineers and Geoscientists of British Columbia accorded Paul their highest honor, the R.A. McLaughlin Memorial Award. So Paul, would you please come up to the podium to say a few words about this beautiful Yukon Street project?
Thank you very much, Lynn, for those kind words, and all the folks at Natural Resources Canada and the GC Wood Program and the BC Wood Program as well for hosting this event. And a special note of appreciation to you, Minister Murray, for your kind comments, and the federal government for their generous support of the research work taking place at this, the future home of Fast Epp Structural Engineers. We find ourselves in a time of unprecedented, rapid change in the design and construction industry. As we move toward achieving net zero carbon goals, mass timber construction finds itself at the forefront of the conversation. When NRCan and the GC Wood Program decided in 2016 to provide seed money for the 18-story mass timber tall wood house student residence project at the University of British Columbia, little did anyone anticipate what a torrent of interest in mass timber construction, and in particular, multi-story buildings that would contribute to unleashing right across North America. I highly doubt that project would have been realized had it not been for the NRCan funding. At Fast Epp, we now find ourselves involved in low and mid-rise office and residential construction across Canada and the United States, including over 2 million square feet of mass timber construction at the home office campus of the world's largest retailer, Walmart, in Bentonville, Arkansas. And yet many developers are still nervously standing on the sidelines wondering if mass timber construction with its sustainability characteristics can be cost competitive with conventional steel and concrete buildings. So we decided to walk the talk on our own building and demonstrate that indeed low-rise commercial office buildings can be constructed cost competitively irrespective of government funding. However, the funding provided by your government, Minister Murray, has enabled our team here to move the dial forward on experimenting with leading-edge prefabrication technology. It has facilitated testing of floor vibration characteristics so that we can minimize the volume of lumber in the structure. It is moving a step forward in the resilient seismic design of mass timber construction using state-of-the-art connection design that will always center the building back to its original position, making it possible for occupants to immediately occupy the building following a severe earthquake event. Fire protection design and acoustic and thermal performance research is also experiencing a step forward on this project. We are seeing a steady stream of visitors coming through the building and appreciating the benefits of mass timber construction not the least of which is a wonderful, warm, natural ambiance of exposed BC wood. What is particularly exciting for our firm is that the ground floor and part of the second floor will, thanks to the approval of the City of Vancouver, house Fast Epp's Concept Lab, a hub that will feature a full-scale testing laboratory, the building of physical mock-ups and prototypes, the development of supporting software, and the display of wood and connection samples that will further accelerate the acceptance of mass timber in our cities. So once again, a hearty thanks to you and your government, Minister Murray, and all the supporting groups that have made it possible to move the cause of mass timber construction forward on this project. We're learning valuable lessons that will enable us as designers and contractors to move more confidently into the future with this emerging technology. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much, Paul, for those words on the history of this building. And so now we get to the question period, and I will be turning this over to Eric to moderate the questions.
And do you have any questions on the board before we get to this one? No, doesn't appear like we do. So I'll hand it over to anybody over the phone here if they would like to ask a question here. So I'll turn it over to the next chair. Let's give it a quick moment. All right, and it does not look like we've got anything on the phone here, so I will turn it back to you to wrap it up. Thank you.
Okay, well, that concludes the program for today. I would like to thank Minister Murray for her remarks and Paul Fast for his as well, and also for this Fast Epp for this wonderful building. I'd like to thank Natural Resources Canada for the funding opportunities and arrangements for this event, and also for the Fast Epp organization in coordinating everything. And thanks to all of the listeners who joined us today, and I wish you well and take care.